Ladies and dudes, I got some good news to tell you. The Porco Rosso movie review is finally here at long last! Hooray! Hallelujah! Yay! We're finally gonna meet Porco Rosso. Porco Rosso, the world's famous pig! Hallelujah! Let's get on to that important movie review that everybody has been waiting for quite a long time. Yay! Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Markley, aka BoomBob927. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, we are finally here to that very important movie review that everybody has been waiting for who knows how long. I'm finally gonna do my movie review of Porco Rosso! Yay! It's finally here. That very important movie review that I really want to do that came from one of my favorite 2D hand animation directors of all time, Hayao Miyazaki. And I still miss 2D hand-drawn animation films, even to this day. It will always be one of my favorite genres of all time, period. So let's not waste any further, ladies and dudes. I gotta calm down a bit. I don't want to hurt my throat, if you know what I mean. So let's get this whole thing started, ladies and dudes. Let's head on to my next movie review of Porco Rosso. So let's head on to the main plot of the story. It's a story about the world's most famous pig named Porco Rosso. He's been in many adventures here and there with his famous red plane, so he can take care of pirates or bounty hunters or outlaws. He's going to take care of them once and for all. He has to fight this American actor who came from America. And he really cares about this lady named Gina who owns a restaurant and a hotel. And so many others. Yeah, that's all I could say about the main plot of the story of Porco Rosso. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? I will say, out of all the Miyazaki films I have seen for so many years, from Spirited Away to Ponyo to Princess Mononoke, Castle in the Sky, My Neighbor Totoro, and a few others, I will say Porco Rosso is truly the most funnest film I have ever seen that Hayao Miyazaki have ever made. I mean, I had a really, really good time with this movie. It's a very fun movie to watch. And also, I gotta tell you the truth right now about this movie. This is one of the best Hayao Miyazaki films that has a few interesting fun facts to be found. I think truly the most easiest fun fact to be found in the whole entire Miyazaki collection. I'll tell you that in a moment. I will say it had a good, interesting storyline, really fun, interesting characters, has beautiful cinematography, great 2D hand-drawn animation, a great score, and yes, there's a lot of good scenes here and there that featured wonderful planes. And yeah, Sally, I only got one main weak point about the film that we'll tell you in a moment. So, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Porco Rosso. I will say for the strongest points for this movie is truly Michael Keaton's performance as Porco Rosso. I will say out of all the performances I did see here and there, even if I don't know much about his films very well, I know a few here and there, but I will say him as Porco Rosso, I think he did a fantastic job of playing a really cool character who is known as the world's famous pig. I'm happy that nobody's afraid of him, and, they're not afraid of a really cool guy who's a pig. He's really fun to look at. And also, I think Michael Keaton is having a really, really good time playing with a great, interesting character who's having fun, having a good time, and just being the world's famous pig and all that stuff. Yeah. I will say this is the most funnest character that Michael Keaton have ever played in his whole entire career. I mean, he had a really fun time with this character. I think he's very honored to play a character in a Miyazaki film. That's for sure. And now let's go on to some interesting fun facts you should know about Porco Rosso. Do you remember the voice actor who did Goofy named Bill Farmer? He's going to make a cameo appearance in that film when he played a character. You will hear his voice in a very, very small role. And did anybody remember Susan Egan and David, whatever the other two names are, well, for his middle last? You may remember them as Megara and Cogsworth. And yes, those two people did work together in another Miyazaki film called Spirited Away. We remembered Susan Egan as Lynn, and the David guy, he played that really cool creature with very large arms. And yes, they did reprise their roles as Megara and Cogsworth for Kingdom Hearts 2. That I remember the most. And also, I found a hidden Easter egg in that film. If you pay attention to the part where Porco Rosso and this guy named Piccolo, when they head on to the room that featured this really cool engine thingy for the plane, you'll see a sign that says Giggly in there. I was so darn surprised to see that little hidden Easter egg that came from in the famous Miyazaki film. So don't forget to pay attention to that little hidden Easter egg. That's very important to that film. And yes, ladies and dudes, I also know in the French version, do you know the guy who played the French dude in the 1998 version of Godzilla? In the French version, he did play Porco Rosso in that French version of the film. So yeah, those are the fun facts I will tell you about for Porco Rosso. That's really good, interesting, fun facts to be found about this famous film that I will praise. And now let's go on to the weakest points of the movie. I only found one little weak point of the film. Something I wish they should explain more. And that is, I wish we could get to know a little bit about the story of how the heck did Porco Rosso did become a pig in the first place. They fully never explain it, to tell you the truth. And I wonder why. How did he become a pig in the first place? Maybe it's after when his buddy had died. I guess. But sadly, we never got to see the whole part of the story, if you know what I mean. So yeah, the only weak point that I found with this movie is how did Porco Rosso became a pig. That's for sure. And now, let's go on to the characters. I will go with the two characters that stand out to me. The first character I want to talk about is Gina, played by Susan Egan. I really love Gira. Yeah, she's a really interesting character. I know she's the most skinniest character we have ever seen in a Miyazaki film, but who cares? She's lovely, she's sweet, kind, and she owns a restaurant and a hotel at the same time. And she does have a very lovely voice when she sings. She sings like an angel. And I really do love the character development and chemistry that she had with Porco Rosso. It's a sad shame they never became a couple in real life. That's so sad. But yeah, Susan Egan did a really good job of playing a really fantastic character who is not really a damsel in distress. No, she never got kidnapped, not just once. So yeah, I love Gina overall. And now let's go on to the best character in the whole entire movie, Porco Rosso, played by Michael Keaton. I really, really love this main character to death. And one of the best main characters I have ever seen in a Miyazaki film. I will say he had a really good storyline. He has a great personality, great attitude. I love his character design. And I'm so darn happy that nobody is afraid of him. They are not afraid of this one cool dude who's the world's famous pig. I mean, he's the most popular pig manly dude of all time. That was really cool to see. He's just a fun, lovable character that we will never forget in movie history. And also from the Miyazaki world history. That's all I can say about the world's famous pig, Porco Rosso. And now let's head on to my final thoughts of Porco Rosso. Overall, Porco Rosso is one of the most funnest films I have ever seen in my whole entire life, and truly one of the most underrated films I have ever seen in my whole entire life. From all the Miyazaki films I have ever seen so far for all these years. I will say it had a good storyline, fun characters, great English dub voice cast. It had a really good score, good cinematography, and I still miss 2D hand-drawn animation so darn much. I want to see 2D hand-drawn animation back. Please give us our 2D hand-drawn animation, for goodness sakes. I want to see more of it in the future. No more CGI, if you know what I mean. So I decided to give this film a 9 out of 10. Thank you, dear Lord. Thank you. I finally did this movie review at long last. Yes! And that's the only way to defeat bad luck, that's for sure. So that's my whole entire movie review of Porco Rosso. And tell me, ladies and dudes, what is your most favorite Michael Keaton film that you truly enjoyed the best? Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there, let me know. I know a few Michael Keaton films here and there, like the 2 Batman films from Tim Burton. I remember from him of Dumbo, and I only saw a little bit of that Beetlejuice film, and also Spider-Man Homecoming. So those are the only films I know from Michael Keaton. But I think I'll have to stay with Porco Rosso. I think that's his best film he ever done in his whole entire career for me. So yep, those are the Michael Keaton films I know about. And join me next time for more movie reviews to come. I'll go back to the movie theaters to see Hugh Jackman's new film, but I gotta pronounce the name of the film. And also, I really want to do Lupin III, The Castle Cagliostro. That's the only Miyazaki film I have left in my list. And coming really soon, I want to go ahead and redo my movie review of Taken, the first one, so I could celebrate it for its 10th anniversary. So be prepared for my new movie reviews to come, and I'll see you guys later, and sayonara.